Episode 12 of the Bachelor podcast coming at you in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Bachelor podcast, a show about everything but nothing at the same time. Two guys that took jobs away from their families and living the Bachelor lifestyle.
All right, we're on. How you doing, Duane?
Good. This is Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Thursday.
This is Impromptu. We were hanging out,
And we thought it's just us hanging out like we normally do. We might as well record it for you guys.
Why not?
This is what Bachelors do. There's nothing else to do but hang out in the camper.
Yeah, and
talk.
Just record. So that's what we're doing. But I heard a little bit of distortion, so I just want to make sure we keep our cell phones off the table and stuff. But we haven't really had a lot of stuff happen since the last 2 days since we recorded.
But one big thing that I think is you were able to make a stop at one of our favorite places on the way down to the camper, and they have a new brew out. So anyone close to Boatown Brewery, they have a blueberry mead out.
Yeah, it's definitely different than the normal mead, the Gandy Dancer as they call it, which is more of a honey mead. I think that it's still somewhat of a honey mead, and then they just add blueberry into it. I didn't really get the whole details and stuff. So it was a surprise to us, and it was a surprise to the bartender as well when she poured it. So she's like, that doesn't look like the normal, and I was like, no, it doesn't look like the normal. But yeah, I stopped by, picked that up, and then I got me a little to-go order, my fried chos.
I know you like them fried chos. I'm not a huge fan, but I know that's your jam.
Well,
potatoes.
I will say I went up to Quincy last week, and I was going to test because there's something called pigtails at I think it's called Riverside Barbecue there in Quincy, and I was going to see the difference, and I'm sorry, they don't hold up to the fried chos. I mean, those are, but the problem is I realized when I was talking to the lady today, they don't do the pulled pork on top of it besides on the weekends. So I guess the first couple times that I had it with the pulled pork, it was always on like a Saturday or something, not on Thursday.
Okay. Well, so speaking of, I mean, this place is local for us. We enjoy going to it. I enjoy going to microbreweries. So if you're out there and you're in Missouri, or if you're in the U.S., because, well, as you like to point out, I like to travel, and I will travel for microbreweries. If you got a favorite, hey, reach out to us. Put it out there on our Instagram page. Hit us in the DM. Put it on the Facebook page so that we can try some different microbreweries.
We can just travel around and record podcasts and eat it. Well, I like eating at microbreweries.
Let's travel around to microbreweries.
Yeah.
We'll be in our bulking
I'm not
season.
too much in the barbecue, or I mean the brewing side of things. I'm not a beer drinker, but I do enjoy the food. So, actually, one of my favorite meals from a brewery was the old poutine.
I was in Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City. It's a Canadian dish. Pretty much, I do like my potatoes. So it's a little bit of potatoes, gravy.
Going to the border for some potatoes and gravy, or French fries and gravy.
That's right. But there's a lot of good places out there that we tried over the times. But Boatown is definitely one of my favorite.
It's a good place. Real good people out there. The owners or the brewery, or the brewers, I should say, they're knowledgeable about their craft. They'll talk about it if you want to listen to it. If you don't, they'll pour you a glass and you go on about your way.
Go on your way. But it was pretty nice. I thought that you were going to be by a little bit earlier, and we were actually going to go there, but you couldn't make it due to some work conflicts. But I decided I was going to go shopping for campers while I was waiting on you to call me. So I was sending my wife all kinds of different campers. There's this one, and I don't know. It's got 4 slide outs in it, dude. I'm telling you, it is the biggest bumper hitch camper I've ever seen. So
I want to see you put that in an Explorer and see what happens.
I feel
You'll be
like
riding a
I
wheelie.
feel like if I can just borrow the truck from the old parents, I could get it moved here. I don't know what the price tag is on it, but it's got 4 slide outs and it looked really, really pretty. And I
I
like
think you
pretty
should go
things.
for it. I mean,
Yeah,
why not?
I sent
It's
it to
only
my
money.
wife and she's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Shopping." She said, "Stop," with the stop sign. So that's how you know when to stop. But yeah, other than that, I mean, work wise, don't really talk too much about work,
No,
but
let's not talk about work.
yeah, no. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed the last couple of days. You were gone, so that's always a good time to enjoy it.
Yeah, I got to, or didn't get to, I had to travel north. Just so happens it was close to home, so I was able to stay at the house, got an extra night with the family, and then took care of some stuff, and plans changed, and
I got to
had to go
get
to
some
different
extra sleep,
locations.
so I mean, I was definitely
You didn't.
I racked
What
up
you're saying is I didn't keep you up so you could go to bed at 7
I
o'clock.
racked up about 8 hours of sleep in the last 2 days, and then last night I got 8 hours total. So I fell asleep listening to podcasts. So that was always a good, interesting, event. I had actually downloaded podcast because I slept through the whole thing. I guess it was on continuous play. But other than that, still reading my books.
So you started a new book. You
Yeah.
quit ours. I'm within striking distance of finishing. Now I got about 10
I
pages
think
left.
you said you were finishing it when you left.
No, I said I have 3 days to finish it,
No.
and I'm within 10 pages. I was able to do a little bit of reading this morning before I left to go to work, and I'm within 10 pages of finishing the book. For what we do, so this book's broke down into 3 categories each chapter. The first part of it talks about what they did in Iraq during the initial start of the war. The middle part is the tactics they used explained, not necessarily like tactics of clearing rooms or shooting or military tasks, but planning, leadership, that type of tactics. And then the third portion in that chapter is how those what they did, how they planned, how they prepped, what they did applies to the civilian populace or companies. So how they can apply what they did as in SEALs as leading, as providing leadership or training or task completion to what the civilian world can do and make that business better. My wife, who hates everything, I wouldn't say hates everything military, but she doesn't want to read about it. It's just not what she wants to do.
Interested her,
So I've talked to her. I'm like, hey, you just need to read the last of each chapter and see how what they do applies to what your business is. And I think for me it was refreshing. Some of the stuff we'd heard before. I mean, we've both been in enough leadership courses that we've heard some of it, and it just reinforces it. And applying it to the civilian world, I think it works. I mean, the way they write it, it makes like it would work. And it's just like anything else. You apply it. If it doesn't, you adjust, you fix, you go on. But the biggest thing that I like about it, because you've been around it, it's just like planning everything. They try to make everything so dang complicated.
Yeah, that's everything.
And the simplest
plans
plans or allows everyone to do their job and assist in planning, that's what gets the job done. It's not the most complicated plan.
No.
We make things so much more difficult than what they need to be, and that's so frustrating.
It's the old KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
that's exactly what it is.
and that's, I mean, I didn't really make it that far in the book. I think I made it to the part where, I don't even know if it was a grocery store. There's a manager. I'm not really specific on the whole thing.
Confused about grocery store Joe?
No. No, there was, I feel like it was a manager and they weren't listening. Like the people weren't happy. I feel like it was like the first chapter. So I made it through like 33%. So I'm third through. But
so what's this new book? How far are you into? Because someone suggested it to you to read. So
it's I'm probably like 5% into it. It's called Dark Fever. I think, is the first book. Is what it's called. It's a whole series, and I'm a big series person. Like, I'll read about anything as long as it's a series. I like series.
Doesn't necessarily. So most series, and correct me if I'm wrong, but most series aren't that I've read or seen aren't like factual stuff.
No, it's definitely fiction. So I had to think about it for a minute there.
Well,
But
I don't even know. I'm already thinking what's going to be my next book. I'm right on my goal of 12 books in 1 year, 1 book a month.
don't mess up this last book.
I'm not. I just don't know what to. I don't know what the end of the year book. You know what to read. So if anyone's got any suggestions on that, hey, reach out.
Well,
let me know.
I mean, I will be getting a new computer here pretty soon, and I plan on starting my master project. Don't really know what it's going to end up like.
So you're gonna
but-
start writing your book.
Well, I was researching it a little bit, and I need people to edit. That's what they say. The big thing is edit, edit, edit. So you might be one of the first people to read it after it's done. I don't know how long it's going to take me. It's not going to be a long book. It's going to be more than 2 pages. Let's just face it. I've been told
There'll
I can.
be a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Oh, it's going to be completely out of order. It's going to be all over the place, kind of like the way I talk. I've been told that I can ramble with the best of them.
You are a rambler.
You know, it is what it is. But I do enjoy doing this podcast, and that's actually what I want to talk about. Is we'll probably record again next week.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're
And
getting
we'll
a
come
2-for-1 special.
We'll come from
Yeah,
a different location.
Yeah. I haven't really. Are we shooting for my house? I guess, or maybe we'll have to play it by ear.
We haven't discussed it, but it will not.
Yeah,
be
it will
in a
not.
camper.
Will not be in a camper. So this will be. Well, no, it's not the first episode that we didn't do in the campers. We did one last week off yours, and so I'm pretty stoked about that. I don't know. We'll have a dog there, so you might get a dog bark like you did the last time. Depends on if anybody comes to the door. She definitely likes barking. Got a little miniature poodle, so
I think we should record from your gym.
for my gym. Yeah.
First, do a workout, and then record from your gym.
Yeah, I definitely have some. I don't know what kind of weights I got around there. I know I have some still left over. We will have to use a women's bar though.
We'll do
So that'll be good for
do some
you.
body weight stuff because we know
Yeah.
that you can't lift anything over your
I
waist.
I did a workout today. I know you saw
Let's
it,
repeat that one.
huh? That
I want to do that one. Let's repeat that one.
okay? It'll be a little bit more difficult because we would need 2 barbells, unless I'm bringing my other barbell from home.
Well,
from
we
here,
can start it on the 5-minute break.
yeah. Well, if you look at the first one, it took me longer than 5 minutes to do.
Well,
And
you,
it was
you brought
definitely
that up, and I think some of it was that you weren't warmed up yet.
Yeah, I did 500 meters on the row, I think, to warm up kind of. And yeah, that first, well, I mean, ever since my shoulder injury, it's bench press is kind of like a little iffy. Not that it affects it too much, but it definitely like slows it down. I've noticed a slight decrease. But I felt like scaling it was the right,
Right move.
right
Yeah.
move.
There's nothing wrong with scaling it.
Yeah, and it's not like I have a lot of 225 bench in my future, anyways. So that's up towards the top tier.
You mean you
So-
can't, as we like to say, you can't Z
Z
it up.
Yeah, definitely not on the power cleans. I would think I would do better at the 225, but I'd probably be doing singles, doubles, and which was actually not so much on the bench, but definitely the power cleans. It was a lot of singles.
But yeah, let's do that. We'll do a repeat for you, me. I don't think I've ever done that one, and we'll do it at your place. And then
Yeah, it was definitely
may,
fun.
We may be a little winded when
Yeah.
we record, but it'll be good.
No, I think it'll be fine. Just timing and stuff. It's going to be late night probably. I don't know, but like I said, we're not talking about work. But
Yeah, let's not go there. No one wants to hear that crap.
yeah. But other than that, yeah, I was really proud of my workout. I was going to do this big long inspirational post. I wrote it like 4 times, about how moving down here, I didn't really know if it was the right decision to do. I definitely did a lot of soul searching in Landon Showertime afterwards, and I came to the realization
This is the second time
in a week.
twice in a row we're discussing you in the shower.
That's where I do most of my thinking. I like to crank up the whole shower. I like to do like not so much here, but at my old job, the one that we previously worked at, the location we worked at. There's a way to shoot 3 showers on you, right? And it's kind of like one of those as the Italian type showers where it comes from all different angles.
Yeah,
not so much angles. We're not talking about underneath. Don't want to clean the whole undercarriage. But yeah, you get 3 showers from each angle. It's pretty good. I mean, it's like it feels fancy and stuff.
Well, I don't know. I've seen some of these places where they had these showers that we work at, and some of them are pretty scary to look at.
Oh yeah. But good news is I found my shower shoes, so got to use those for the last couple days. But yeah, it's definitely been struggle with waking up. That first Tuesday is definitely probably the worst.
Yeah, you can
and
tell
I want to say, like, our job is by no means physically demanding, I would say.
It's more on the mental side.
Yeah,
sure.
it's definitely more mental, and I won't say. I mean, it's not like we're laying bricks or doing any construction work or anything like that.
A lot harder jobs than what we're doing,
and so it's not the worst job in the whole world, but it drains you, like, mentally.
Well, I think that's with
like,
any job. I'm sure your wife comes home, with the same types of stresses and issues that we have, just in a different arena. I mean, I know mine does.
Yeah, and it is different for everybody. I like to,
every job has its ups and downs.
Yeah,
plain and simple.
And simple as that. Our job, we have a little bit more freedom, I would say, compared to most. But we're not talking about jobs, are we?
You keep going on this you keep coming back to it.
Well, I really want to talk about how, when I first took this job, I'm going to talk about jobs because that's what we're going to do. I definitely, and it's more on the mental side of, do I take this position? I loved where I worked at before. This was a promotion, not necessarily a pay promotion, due to expenditures, cost of living and stuff like that. Since we are living in campers, definitely costs more, and,
but the way we did, I mean, the reason why we do this is cheaper what we're doing now than it would have been.
If you're renting and stuff.
But you did try to rent something. You've seen something out there.
Oh yeah, I do want to. So I was on the old Craigslist when I first got offered this job, or I think I got wind that I was going to get offered this job. And I saw an apartment on there for and it was like cheap. It's like $300 total, to including the utilities and stuff. And I'm like, oh, this seems like, amazing. And it shows a picture there on the first. So I click on it and start going through it. And it is it's an apartment. It's a shared apartment with 2 college females. So I was like, well, my wife likes to be frugal. So
you presented this to her.
Yeah, I presented it to her. It was a pretty much no at the very get-go. I was like, you're trying to save a buck, I don't see what the issue is. But she definitely was not having my new roommates. So I don't know if she's less threatened by you hanging out with me all the time. But she did not want me to have 2 college female roommates. I figured I could have been more the enforcer, like the protector of the group. I don't even know what these girls look like. They might have been the protector of the group.
It doesn't matter what they look like.
Yeah, I know. But
you're talking from 18 to 22-year-old. You would have been the creeper.
They could have been evening students.
You'd been Blue.
I do want to say, like,
you're my boy, Blue.
I would not have been Blue. There are definitely some blues. I did do evening classes, going through college a little bit. Sometimes some of the harder subject I like to be in seat. So I definitely had some details with. There's some old people that go to college, and I'm
And
like,
there's nothing wrong with that.
there's something wrong with it.
No.
It's kind of a pet peeve of mine.
Why? Why? Because they're trying to better themselves.
They're like 60. Why?
So, there's,
Why are you going to start a new career at
there's
60?
It's a Tom Hanks movie, and it's not one of his top ones, but it's where he works for this department store, and they end up letting him go because he can't move up in management because he doesn't have a degree. So, and Julia Roberts is in this movie too, and he decides to go back to college and meets these people and goes through this whole transformation. It's a funny comedy with a little bit of serious overtone, I guess. But it's really a good show. Have you seen it? It's on Netflix. It's free.
I'm not a big Tom Hanks fan. I know that's like the worst thing to say in the whole world because Forrest Gump might have been the greatest movie of our decade.
Forrest Gump. I mean, he's been in a lot of good movies. Forrest Gump definitely, and then you got Castaway where he did that whole losing the weight with
the
Wilson. Yeah. But I can't remember what the name of this movie is, but basically he's an older man. I don't want to say he's in his 60s like you said. I don't understand why they go back to school in their 60s, but he was definitely older and goes back to college. Julia Roberts is like his speech professor and gives him grief, and they kind of have they kind of, I don't want to say they hook up because they don't hook up, but they kindle a flame, and there's kind of a love story in it too, but it's actually a really good show. My wife and I both watched it, and we both enjoyed it. It's funny, made you laugh, made you kind of contemplate going back to school at that age, how difficult that may be, but it's a good flick. I would highly recommend it.
Yeah. I feel like that most I mean, we definitely have movies that we do listen to and stuff. I'm sorry, we had a little bit of figure, so we are definitely a professional show here. So I don't a lot of the movies that we watch are probably really different. I'm more on the American Pie side of things.
No, I enjoy American Pie.
It was definitely a cult classic.
What's the last movie you watched?
Last movie I watched, probably. Well, I definitely. My mom is big Hallmark movies, and let me tell you, those things will suck you in. The Hallmark and the Lifetimes. I don't know. One of the radio stations we listen to. Have you ever seen the old boy? He's an audio producer. His name's Ray, and he does scenarios of the Hallmark movies. Have you ever seen those?
I've heard.
Those
I've never seen them. I've heard him talk.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, it's always the same plot. It's like either one small town girl a big town city girl comes to a small town to do something and then falls in love with some. It's always funny how he words them and stuff.
Well, the last movie I watched was Incredibles 2.
Which
was actually really good. I
enjoy those.
We
those
watched
type
it.
Of
it
movies.
was my whole family, my wife, my daughter, my son. We all.
I guess mine would have been
watch it.
I would say probably Fantastic Beasts was the last movie I watched. The second one, which is the Harry Potter spinoff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you talked about that.
Yeah, I talked about
on
it
the same one. You talked about being manly and Father of the Year.
Yeah, I was definitely. I'm pretty much up for manliness all the time.
So you really want to go with that? Because I pretty much have your man card situation going on where I can find out, do we need to burn it? Because we already know it's been revoked.
Okay, this is not going to be a landing bashing session. We are done with this. I do just want to clarify what makes a man somebody that lifts. That's me. Did you lift today? No,
because I put something else in front of
Yeah, I don't put anything else in front of lifting besides food.
We
But
all know you're in your bulking season.
I'll tell you what, I'm definitely cutting a little bit though. Uh, Definitely switching up the calories and stuff. But it's really hard to eat healthy when you're eating
Taco Bell
microwave. No, God, Jesus.
or
No microwave. Let me finish my
or
phrase.
is it
Like,
taco? It's not Taco Thursday yet.
actually, today was Taco Thursday, but it wasn't
Today
Taco.
is Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Oh
wasn't
my
Taco
gosh.
Thursday. It was Burrito Thursday. So Thursdays are always my bad days because those are the ones that I usually go to the little Mexican joint right next to work and do my Taco Thursdays. But I want to try a burrito because, well, you were talking about it, so I was excited.
That
So
place, how was the burrito? Because I'm super
yeah,
jealous. I wanted to get it, and then I thought I better try the street
I don't do
tacos.
lettuce, but yeah, it wasn't bad. It was like the remember that Pepe's that had the food truck, the trailer that we up
Yeah,
there in
yeah, yeah,
Columbia.
yeah.
It was kind of like that. So all in all, not too bad. But that's what I ate. And then of course I had my fried toast tonight. Like I said, Thursdays are always bad for me. It's like my weekend, but my weekend never stops. So, but all in all, I don't know. Going back on this because I like to ramble, as you say. Uh, I definitely had some thoughts about taking this job. I'm now going to say for the first time ever, I'm glad I took it. It helps mold me into a different person. It I did enjoy doing what I did before, but I don't know. It's always nice, and we're lucky for the most part. You probably not so much because you've been kind of not necessarily at the same level, but close to it. Um,
What do you mean not at the same level but close to? Oh, my new position.
yeah, well, you moved. No, I'm talking about like in your past since you've started, and you've been pretty much at the same level. It's just different positions at that level.
Yeah. Okay. No.
So, it is nice to go back and forth. I recommend that to everybody. Switch it up. We're lucky in our jobs because we get to do this every 2 to 3 years, give or take. So change it up. Whereas I can imagine doing the same job for the rest of my life. So I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, so when I left to come down here, uh, man, it sucked because I was the only one in the building. Um, some of and I still consider them my closest friends, or some of my closest friends. You know, they're off. They're preparing. They're going on with life, and just I don't want to say they just kind of wrote me off because that's not an accurate statement at all. But I never felt so alone that I did that last day at my last job. I'd worked there for 3 years, and I'm like you. When I'm there, it doesn't matter what we're doing or what I'm doing. I give them 100% of everything that I can give them.
Okay, we're a little
Every,
bit different there.
every
Um,
day. It
mine's not every day.
it doesn't matter what
Sometimes
it
I'm just
is.
tired of it.
No. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
what it is. It doesn't matter what tasks we got going on. It doesn't matter who needs help.
Yeah,
I
and
will
I'm
give them
definitely
100% of everything I got. And then this my new job that I'm currently at came available. I accepted it. Of course, you know you have that lull between hey you're transitioning
yeah.
from the person above me to the person to the next level. I may have got a thanks, and that's it. Cut me loose. I'm not expecting an award. I don't give two craps about any of that, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
because they hand
I
a lot
mean,
of that stuff
yeah.
out now like
Like,
candy
yeah, it's like
anyway.
candy. And I mean,
But
I definitely I chose to kind of leave on a quick note. It's just easier instead of just dragging it on and stuff. So I waived any kind of like
I
shindig. We did have a
you'll make
few.
fun of me on this.
I probably will.
You know, you knew exactly where I worked. You'd been in that office. We'd spent a lot of hours there. And I'm in that place completely by myself. Last day, not a phone call, not an email, nothing really
I don't know
to
what I was doing during that time.
to
I don't
apply.
think you probably didn't tell me you were moving.
And it was so quiet. First I'm thinking, am I doing the right thing? And then second, it was like, I kind of, because when I entered this profession, that's the first place I ever came to.
Yeah.
Even before I was full time. I got teary-eyed. And I felt bad. And then I felt like I was unappreciated. And then it went on. Of course, it passed. I went on. I started my new job. And I didn't even think about it. But it hurt when I left. It burned me.
It was, when I left, it was probably one of the, I realized why I left. I had my reasons. But it was probably one of the hardest things I ever had to do was to actually, leave. If not the best, I compare it. It's definitely top two. And then also when I worked with you that first time, those were my two favorite positions that I worked at. It's just different, being at the top level and then going back down. It's always.
And then you got to build it back up because where I left, I mean, I truly feel, and I still to this day, the staff that we had and the company that we were with was the best in that field in our organization.
Yeah. And
to come to something that was completely not and be responsible for it, to bringing it back up. Everything.
So
I took the challenge, but it still sucked leaving.
And that's everybody I talk to, they're like, don't take this job. Don't take this job. This is not where you need to go. But it was more you're not going to fail. You're going to do fine. That's what they all told me. But they're like, it's a headache. And I was just like, that might be, but I'm a fixer for the most part. I try to fix stuff. I ramble around, bit of a narcissist. I really do think. While I was researching my book, I want to say I was reading everything about narcissists. I am a textbook narcissist. Well, it's without a doubt.
And I think both of us, strive. It doesn't matter what we strive to be the best.
And I don't think I've always been that way. My job has definitely, since I wasn't that way in school by any means, but
I've been this way my whole entire life.
No, I've definitely changed.
I'm gonna give you 100%. Doesn't matter what we're doing.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just talking about mentality wise. I wasn't as confident in school and stuff like that. And I met some people that I went to high school with the other way.
Though that's the way big difference between me and you. You're way more confident than I am.
And that's half the battle. And I tell people all the time, just show confidence.
I show lack of confidence.
No, you got to show confidence. You got to go in, act like you know what you're doing. Pretty much just run the stuff. But I think we definitely ended this on a dull note.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was dull or if it was more
not necessarily
serious
dull, more serious, and that's I'm just not a serious person. So for the most part, I have my serious moments, but I always know when to play and have fun.
For an impromptu recording.
I tell you what, I definitely enjoyed this. I think it was. You said.
Well, we'll let the people that listen let us know. So
as we all know, I'm what matters. So
there's his confidence, folks.
Yeah, it's all
episode 12.
Episode 12 is done.
Please, as always, like, subscribe, give us feedback. We're on Instagram at the Geo Bachelors. We're on Facebook.
Everything else is the Geo Bachelor podcast.
Hit us up.
And then, you know what? If you don't want to put it out there, just email it. We're at the Geo Bachelors podcast at gmail.com too. So that's the first time we ever put that out. But I check that all the time. So we've got some new exciting things coming up. New adventures.
Yep.
So we will definitely.
So the next two.
Yeah,
recordings will be at different locations.
Yeah, and we will not be explaining where the one is in 2 weeks.
Nope.
Because I'm pretty stoked about it.
I'm more stoked than you are.
Oh, yeah, but I'll tell you what, if we pull this thing off, this might be the greatest thing. And yeah,
Sky's the limit.
we basically don't have to see each other for the rest of the time. Let's just put it that way. So we can do this all online.
All right, folks. Well, have a good one.
Yep.
Ready?
Out.